Hey guys, Arterod here. Going back to my roots by bringing some very, very old news. Over half a century old, in fact. Now, end of the world prophecies, cults, etc., etc., they're certainly not uncommon. Hell, it seems that you can't swing your arms around anymore without hearing about the apocalypse, Ragnarok, what have you. And fortunately, we've yet to come across a predicted end of the world day that the world actually has ended on. Still, back in 1954, the idea of the world coming to an end might have been relatively new. Kinda-ish, not really. More specifically, this incident occurred when a woman by the name of Dorothy Martin announced that she had been given a prophecy from the far distant planet Clarion. According to this prophecy, before dawn on the 21st of December that same year, a great flood would come and wipe out humanity. Again. But any true believers who came to her home for a special prayer session would be saved, as a spaceship would come and rescue them at midnight, a scant 7 hours before the end was nigh. Now, these details are out because a group of sociologists at the time ended up infiltrating this little soiree, so they could figure out what would happen if, God willing, the Earth did not in fact come to an end. Now they theorized, before this night even occurred, that the members of this cult who were particularly invested in it, the ones who had quit their jobs, given away their stuff, committed all the acts that you would do if you weren't expecting it to matter in the long run, these people would not be discouraged from their beliefs, even when faced with its irrefutable failure. In fact, it was theorized that they would only become all the more fervent in their beliefs. Maybe not the belief that the world would end, but at least the basic structure with the God of Earth, planet Clarion, this woman's status as a prophet. So, prior to the expected day of the world's end, the cult in question would speak only briefly with the media, secretive, not really wanting to draw a terrible amount of attention. The rescue was to be conducted from her home, when a spaceship, as mentioned, would come, and a visitor from the stars would lead them in to take off. Anyways, this was only supposed to be open to true believers, or at least the ones who were really good at pretending they were true believers, like the sociologists. So the day of reckoning comes, the group removes all metallic objects from zippers to bra straps, and waits for the midnight spaceship rescue to come. And, as expected, it doesn't. Now, at first it's thought that, hey, maybe the clock's just fast. But soon the excuses run out, and as the hours start to pile up, the group's more fervent supporters begin to panic, with Martin herself bursting into tears. But then, at 4 a.m, there came salvation, in the form of another psychic message to Dorothy Martin. According to this message, the God of Earth had decided to spare the planet's inhabitants after all, because the prayer and dedication of her little group had spread so much light, it saved us all. And so at the end of the day, the sociologists were completely right. The really dedicated members of the group, the ones who had thrown themselves into this idea so desperately, were driven to even greater heights of devotion after this total flop. Whereas before, they weren't seeking recognition with the media, now they were trying to get in touch with every news source out there, insisting to everyone who would listen, and everyone who wouldn't, that they had saved the world. Martin herself ended up leaving her hometown under threat of being committed to a psychiatric institution, and when she moved, she instead founded the Association of Sananda and Samat Kumara, changing her name to Sister Thedra. She died in 1992, and the association is apparently still around. Now, if anyone's interested in the details of this little incident, look up When Prophecy Fails. The text that was published in 1956 by the sociologist, and it goes into much better detail about all this. I'd also recommend Googling the term cognitive dissonance, a fascinating theory that can actually account for a lot of the narrow-minded, stupid behavior we do. In the meantime, this is Arterot asking if the world could just keep going until Assassin's Creed 3 comes out. Well, plus about 5 or 6 days for playtime. Thank you.